Here I am again. Sydney submission part 2. Same day, towards the end of May 2013. Yeah, the air's still crappy. In fact, it's getting a bit thinner now because it's getting towards the end of the day and it starts to thin off. Tomorrow morning you wait and see it. So what's our topic for right now? Politics. Everybody's favourite subject. Ladies and gentlemen, Western Sydney, I bring you 11 seats, including this one I'm sitting here in the Blue Mountains. Those 11 seats out there make and break governments. In 1995, it was a hung government, hung parliament, state government election. There was something really wrong on the seat of Badgerys Creek, where someone was proposing to build an airport, our Labor friends. And at the time, something seemed a little strange. 100% of the people from the Scalabrini village voted Labor. No faulty votes of any kind. No one voted for any other party. They all voted Labor. It was a 49 seat hung parliament. They needed one seat, one party or the other, to take government of the day. Everybody, I come from Horsley Park, it's my background. I fought an airport for a long time in the area too, so did my mum. She passed away fighting it. Everybody was quite sure on the day 1995 that the sitting member, Ann Cohen, who was a Liberal, had won the seat. Surprise, surprise, there was a last minute turnaround, a serious turnaround. And suddenly the postal votes were delayed in one seat in the entire state of New South Wales. Parks out that way, Condobolin, Forbes, you name it, all the way out there. Somehow the seat of Badgerys Creek was a bit slow and we had to wait for the postal votes that came in. And funny thing, when the postal votes came in, they seemed to be all Labor Party. So the sitting member demanded a recount because something seemed so wrong. So many people were scratching their heads going, this doesn't make sense. And the Electoral Commissioner, for once in his life, very unusual, extremely unusual, said, yeah, you're right, I'll grant you a recount. And that would have happened except, oh yeah, the electorate office in St Mary's caught fire and burnt to the ground. Poof! No more electoral office, no more votes. What the hell were the votes doing in St Mary's in the first place? That gave Bob Carr the one seat majority he needed to step forwards and take control. And one of the very first things he did as a government was on the Friday before Christmas Monday, 22nd of December 1995, put through a piece of legislation that you don't know about. And I've never ever managed to get the media to do anything about it. And there's a big problem. And it's called Gazette 156. And I'm telling you now, if you walk up to Kim Beazley, which I've done, or you walk up to Bob Carr, which I've done on a number of occasions, and asked him, tell me about Gazette 156. They don't walk away, they run away. They jump in the car and they drive off. They don't shake hands with anybody, they just leave. So what is Gazette 156? Well, Gazette 156 is a development corporation based around an airport at Badgerys Creek. If there's an airport built down there, then that switches on a development corporation. Gazette 156 will then give those people, 5 people have the power, 5 people appointed by the Governor, would have the power to acquire by agreement or by compulsory process any land adjoining or in the vicinity of the growth centre of which it has exclusive possession. 5 people. That means they have more power than local government, more power than state government, and even more power than federal government. Why would you do that? I believe that's what's really behind Badgerys Creek Airport proposal. But what's really behind Badgerys Creek Airport proposal isn't to build an airport, it's to build a massive, great big private city in the back of what you can already see here is a major problem. Air quality is a major problem for Sydney. And so is water. And that's just over there, that's submission part 3. For the moment, politics. So on the 1st of January this year, Joe Hockey, bless his cotton little socks, got up there on the front page of the Daily Telegraph and said, we're going to build an airport at Badgerys Creek. He committed the Liberal Party to it. We have a federal election coming up in 4 months. Okay, that makes Mr Hockey's position quite clear, but he's been there for a long time. He's obviously on the payroll. Chris Bowen, the member for what's now McMahon, sorry. Chris Bowen, the member for McMahon. How do I know? I spent 5 years on Fairfield City Council with Chris Bowen. I know him quite well. And I also know that he stood up at meetings, mostly which I organised, and got up there and beat his chest, there will be no airport at Badgerys Creek, over my dead body. Before him, the member for Prospect, Janice Crozier, did the same thing. There will be no airport at Badgerys Creek over my dead body. Too dangerous, so much risk. Out there at Penrith, David Bradbury was the mayor. He too beat his chest, got up at public meetings. There will be no airport at Badgerys Creek. He used that to campaign to get over the top of Jackie Kelly, who also said no airport at Badgerys Creek. Interesting that the proposal is now more alive than it ever was before. Problematic, big problem. Joe Hockey got up on the 1st of January, like I said. Julia Gillard and her cohorts have been out here in Western Sydney trying to win back their 10 Western Sydney seats. Julia, it's 11. And they were given it on a plate. Joe Hockey, when he said we'll build an airport at Badgerys Creek, went completely against what the Labor Party profess is their platform policy, no airport at Badgerys. They've abandoned the proposal, they say. A small handful of people in a caucus. We've abandoned it. Have they really? Or have they just told you something? Because Chris Bowen and David Bradbury were both cabinet ministers. You can't get higher in government than when they were, apart from being the Prime Minister. They were both elected on their anti-airport stance. They both were in charge of councils as mayors, Penrith and Fairfield respectively, that spent tens of thousands, nay, millions of dollars of yours and my money, ratepayers' money, not taxes, rates, opposing the airport proposal. They had a golden opportunity when Joe Hockey got up there to step up and go, hey, what do you think you're doing? No, 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 you can't put an airport at Badgerys Creek. You'll poison the water and poison the air, and you'll muck it up for everybody else in Sydney. It's not a working proposal. It's incredibly dangerous. They stayed quiet. In fact, Chris Bowen, I wrote a media release about it and sent it to the Fairfield papers and the Penrith papers. And Chris Bowen's response was not to come out and say anything about the proposal, or to say anything about Joe Hockey, or to try and win any seats in Western Sydney. No, what did he do? He took me off his Facebook list. We're no longer Facebook friends. Shucks! I'm so disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Sydney politics. Enjoy the view.